Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm a knitwear designer based in the United States, and this is episode 2 of my knitting vlog podcast thingy. So I'm back for a second episode. It was fun last time. I enjoyed it. So I'm back. It's been cold here. Like, we had a big cold snap and a lot of snow, and I about froze to death because I'm actually from the south and we moved to the mid-Atlantic this spring. And so I was really cold. And so Sunday we got out and it was 48 degrees outside. And I was like, this is balmy. Like, it's warm. So I guess I got used to it. So I'm wearing Edoras, which I talked about last time. I'm actually wearing it today. Let you have a little look at it. It's hard to balance. So it has some short row shaping along here in the front and the back. But it's one of my favorite finished objects. Well, I guess of 2023, because now it's 2024, but just, I'm really sensitive to itchy yarn. I can't wear, usually if it's not merino, and even some merinos, I can't wear it. And this, I was nervous about, I'm still not sure if I'll be able to wear anything mohair, but this is Suri Alpaca from Campfiber yarns, and it's soft and it's not itchy. It does have a teeny tiny bit of prickle for someone as sensitive as me, but it's not something that bothers me. And just, this is very, very warm. So that's what I'm wearing. I love it so much. And if you look here behind me, this is the only finished object I have to show for myself after a whole month. This is the Belfalas tank, and she is on my newest piece of equipment, who my kids have named Bob, the mannequin. They refused. I'm like, well, what about Roberta? That could be. No, Mom, it's Bob. So meet Bob. But this is the Belfalas tank, and it's knit in Wool and the Gang's Happy Shiny Cotton. Is it Shiny Happy Cotton? And it is the adult version of this sweater, which I pulled out of my daughter's drawer. We have really put this through the ringer. It's a little bit pilly, but I've put this in the dryer. I haven't babied it. It's gone in with the regular wash. So the adult pattern will have an option between the 3-strand braid and a 4-strand braid. So that one is done with a 4-strand braid. Obviously, I probably shouldn't have moved it so far back. Let me go get it. You know, when they give you these mannequins, velvet is not great for yarn. Okay, so here's the close-up. This is gonna have to be tacked down, but it's got a nice 4-strand braid, and then you use the Kitchener stitch to graft it in the back. And then here is the Aran braid cable. It has been given me, or is it Aran? Is it Aran braid or Aran? I think it's Aran. But anyway, so I have been having messaging with my tech editor about the cable panel, because in the middle of grading it, I realized that this keeps getting bigger and bigger as the sizes get bigger and bigger. So I had to change my pickup rate. But she talked me down off a ledge, and I'm not scrapping this pattern after all. But I did threaten it the other night because I was just so frustrated that it wasn't going as smoothly. But got over that little hump. I don't know if you're like me, but I really don't like math at all. It's not fun. So yeah, this is being a little bit of a challenge for me, but it's fine. It's going to be fine. But this one is Shiny Happy Cotton in Duck Egg Blue. And then my daughter's was Mellow Mauve. And today, of course, it's not here now, but sometime this afternoon, I'm supposed to be getting a delivery of Drops Paris. I'm gonna swatch it up and try it. it's a little bit cheaper. I feel like it's about half the price. So if we could get gauge, that would make this project a little bit more accessible, and just open up some options. I've also got another little accessory planned using this. And when I was thinking about I-cords, I decided to buy the latest Cordsmith. The Size Inclusive Collective on Instagram sells these, and so I ordered it from Autumn in green, of course. There was never any question I was going to order it in green. And I wanted to try it out for Belfalas, which, by the way, is Tolkien related. So quiz if you can tell me where that region is located and some people that came from there. Anyway, I wanted to try this out for it, and it does work. It just makes a very, very dense I-cord. And I may still use this for the bag, but I'm left-handed, so filming a tutorial on a left-handed crochet I-cord machine when I knit right-handed, it just never works for me very well. So I did get the creative juices flowing, however, by working with this tool. And I wound up creating like this mega bow. And there's another one that I made too. So I talked last week about how I got my start making handmade items to sell. And of handmade items, the only thing I really still sell is bows, mostly from just yarn that I have left over. So it was nice to have another, these are the ones that I usually sell, just this plain hand knit I-cord bow that I would tie and make to order and sell. But it was nice to be able to play with it and create something. Just, I could never do this knitting it up with 2 sticks. It would take forever and it would be too cost prohibitive. So if you haven't tried this out yet, I mean, I paid for it. She's not paying me to say this. It's a really fun tool that I really recommend. So that's that. I also got, in the way of new tools, this is not going to be shiny or flashy like that one. I bought the, how do you say it? Chiao 12-inch circular needle. I was trying to shop small, so I shopped with my local yarn store back in my hometown. And they only had the bamboo, and I thought, oh, I'll try them. And I don't have any complaints with the bamboo, but it did give me an opportunity to really compare them. So here's the metal fixed 12-inch circular needle. It's got, you know, the metal cable in the middle that's flexible, and then in these bent ends, it doesn't move. Well, by comparison, the bamboo twists, so it turns, and it's on plastic. And I don't have any beefs with it so far. It's much more flexible actually than the other one, but I'm wondering how long it's going to hold up with this just moving around so much. So we'll see. I guess that's my little review for circular needles. But they were this kind. I don't know if you've had some of these and they lasted a really long time, chime in and tell me and I might order more, but these feel very sturdy and these feel very flimsy, but they work. I mean, they work fine. So we'll see. We'll see how they go. So that's all for finished objects. That's all for new tools. The new yarn's in the mail. In the way of works in progress, I've been working on adding the duplicate stitching to my Forest of Arda cowl. So here's the original, and I'm still looking at it going, well, maybe I shouldn't have added those branches. Maybe I should have left it, but it's too late now because it's being tested. So this was the original, and I decided to add some more branches here because it looked like these tree trunks were just appearing out of nowhere, and that bothered me. That was kind of the rationale behind adding the extra branch. So I've been going in with a duplicate stitch and adding the extra branches in that are already in the other sample that I worked. So I'm getting close to being done with that. I still need to film a tutorial for it. And we'll see. We'll just see. Another thing I've been working on is, so it goes with Forest of Arda cowl, Forest of Arda cardigan, and I've decided, I came to an epiphany this week, it's really only 1 stitch difference between adding for the steek and having a pullover. So I think I'm going to do just one big pattern where the knitter can choose whether they want it to be a pullover, and they would probably have to do a different collar for their head to fit because the cardigan's going to have a mandarin collar. But pretty much a pullover or a cardigan in the same pattern. It's got about 3 inches of positive ease, maybe 3.5. Not up here, it's not drop shoulder. I'm still haven't decided if I'm going to, like, from here down, you know, Legolas in the Lord of the Rings has like bracers, so I thought maybe some sort of texture along here could be good, but also you're already having to deal with this on the bottom and steeking, so maybe we should just not complicate it further. I'm not sure, but this is what I've got so far. We've got it about to here, and honestly I think it would make a really cute cropped sweater shape too. It's just a really good cropped, and my kids are knocking on the door. Back. But anyway, I think this would make a really nice cropped shape too. Oh, whoops, backwards. But I haven't decided if I'm completely happy with the neck. It almost seems like it's supposed to have a mandarin collar, so it feels like it needs to be a little bit closer even than it is. So we'll see if I can live with it or if I'm gonna rip it out. Either way, the actual pattern would have what it's supposed to have, but sometimes you just don't have the heart to rip this out. I'm the type of person who would rather just reknit a whole second sample than have to rip out something again. Like when I was working on this, I think I ripped out and redid the front panels like 4 times. And I'm kind of bummed now because the last time through, I did some extra modifications and I just didn't have it in me to film a tutorial, which means that I'm going to be knitting a whole other sample. So that's fun, but it kind of takes some of the joy out of the knitting when you have to stop and make a video of what you're knitting. And then it's compounded if you have to rip out, film the video, rip out, film a video. So I finally stopped filming the video. And I definitely, once I got it right, was not going to rip it out again just so I could film a video. I would rather knit a whole extra sample than have to do that. That just sounds miserable. So that's Forest of Arda. The other projects on the back burner have been languishing on the back burner, and they may be on the back burner for a very long time. But I did cast on a new project, and I have this leftover yarn. So I've got 2 skeins of Malabrigo Rios in Valentina. It's this very light, bright purple. And I cast this on. It's teeny tiny, it's size 2. My youngest is in like a size 5, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do with the size 2, but this is actually my vine pullover pattern. I came out with it not this past September, but the September before last, before I ever had any inkling that tech editors existed or anything like that. And honestly, the pattern turned out pretty well for having someone create it that didn't know about tech editing and that kind of thing. I did have to go back in and make some adjustments to the sleeves because they were too tight. But I've decided that I'm going to give it an overhaul this spring. So I've been working kind of behind the scenes to add in metrics, and I also wanted to add in short row shaping to the neck. So that's what this sample is for. I needed to film a video tutorial of adding the short row shaping to the neck. And I'm really excited because I'm going to send up all of these changes and I'm going to send them over to my tech editor so that the pattern will actually be tech edited. I don't anticipate any real issues. It's just your standard raglan, and it's been knit many times now. So as far as mistakes go, there might be some better ways to word things that she recommends. But I'm looking forward to being able to send out that update to people that have already knit it so that they can have short rows. I'm also adding, I think it goes up to size 12, and I'm adding size 14 and 16 in the children's sizing. Just so, you know, kids keep growing and you don't, I do plan on, I finally decided that I can tolerate knitting this again. I made my mom an adult size of this back last Christmas. So not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And I reknit the sleeves a couple times to get the decreases just right. And after I did that, I was like, I'm never making this pattern for adult sizes. I'm so done with this cabling. I just wanted plain stockinette. But now that I'm, you know, working on this, I'm like, you know, an adult size doesn't sound half bad. You know, I like this color. Maybe I should, you know, buy some more and make it for me. So I may see about in the fall grading it out to an adult size, just mostly because I want a comfortable pullover to wear in the winter that isn't like, this is dressy. This is a very dressy piece that I don't feel like I can just wear around the house. I feel like I have to be going to somewhere, to some sort of occasion to wear it. Whereas a nice, you know, worsted weight wool sweater that's casual, I could just wear it around the house without feeling like I need to take it off and put on a sweatshirt or whatever. So I'm excited about this. I might be less excited, or I might have been less excited if I had done this first and then talked to you about it. More cables, because you have the decreases that you're keeping track of and the cables, and some people really like to cable, and that's not me. I mean, I know I designed a whole cable cowl, but I actually really don't enjoy cabling. It's just, every time I get to a row where I have to cable, it's just torture. The ones where you don't have to use a knitting needle aren't too bad, but if I have to use not a knitting needle, a cable needle, on the ones where I have to use a cable needle, I just hate it so much. And I haven't been able to figure out how to do one that isn't just like the one-to-one cross without a cabling needle. I'll always drop the stitches when I try. So maybe one day when I figure out how to do it without a cabling needle, I'll like those kind of cables. But right now, even as a designer, I hate them. They are awful. But that's pretty much all for me. I mean, I feel like I don't actually have all that much to show for myself after a month away. So here's episode 1, and then I knit for a month, and here's episode 2. Oh, by the way, didn't do that much, but that's just a day or a month in the life of a real knitter who doesn't have time to knit all day long every day. That would be nice, but I'd probably have arthritis. But anyway, let me know what you think. Hopefully you weren't too bored, and I'll see you again next month. Bye.